How are we doing,
Oh,
Peter?
we're good. We are live right now. So
Picture is the picture on
let's
my screen is pretty full, so I'm gonna just clean that up
okay. You
so
clean that
people can
up.
actually see me.
Yeah, you look like you have been trucking. Like I live in the South, and people go out there and they go out in
Yeah.
their pickup trucks and they run in the mud. That's what your screen looks like. So
I'll get that fixed right now.
it looks awful. You should just keep your mouth shut over there until you clean your camera.
How is it so bad? That's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
that's like terrible. I mean, was he eating like Cheetos and putting it on the screen? Guys, you are now live on a professional call with with Top Tennis Training as Simon is cleaning off his disgusting lens. I don't even know what he's doing over there, but
There we go.
that looks a lot better. That's a huge difference.
How's that?
Let me.
Can you guys see me? We're all live.
Yeah, we're live, and then so it's
Awesome.
going. So everybody out there, thanks so much for being on the call.
How
And
can we see who's on the call? Is there a way of seeing who's on the call? Like, is
well,
there a list?
we can see if people start to comment. So if you're out there and you'd like to give us a comment, and we'll look at it. And it is on a little bit of a delay, so people will kind of get what we're saying maybe 5 to 7 seconds late. And then I think as we keep talking and the call gets longer,
It'll
it
catch up.
yeah, it kind of catches up. It's kind of weird. I don't understand that happens, but that's the world of Google Hangouts. But anyway, guys, before we get into it, you guys went out and taught some tennis today, right? Did you both get on the court today?
Yeah,
Alex,
I was,
yeah.
I was on a court doing a charity event in Nottingham in a different city. I had about 30 kids in one session, and I had about 30 adults in another session. It was all mixed abilities. I had one kid who was a 5-year-old who turned up and he wanted to play with 16-year-olds. And it was crazy. So I had to manage that session as well as I could, and I think it was all right. They were happy, so it was a good day.
Well, good. What was the charity event? What was it?
It's a friend of mine. He runs a charity. They've got it's called Opportunities for Tennis or something like that, and then they basically bring tennis to different clubs, and they get like ex-Wimbledon players or ex-Davis Cup players to come in and just do like a day out there, like a guest appearance, and they try and get all the members together and make it like a big event. So yeah, they asked me to come around, and I did it.
Very good. You're a good man. Simon, how was your day? What did you do today? Did you teach at all?
I was on court since 7:30 this morning, so it's been a long day, and I played my first match in 2 years today, so that was another thing. There's a big
And you
club.
won, huh?
Yeah, I won.
Good.
Won pretty easily. It was we over here we have club versus club. So we have our club we've won like the national event a few times. So I played for the second team, and first match in about 22 months. So it's been a long time since I've competed.
I think those death drill wars are going to pay off eventually.
Yeah.
Right. The death was going to pay off.
Exactly.
Well, that's pretty cool, and that's why I want to kind of point out to everybody. These guys, they're in the trenches too. It's that they just don't do the online stuff. They see real students from international type players who have big aspirations to people who are literally just beginning the game. So they see all kinds of different situations, different problems, and if you've watched them online, you know that they're incredible players. They're really, really good players. So yeah, well, I mean, I think I could take you both on at once, but I just don't, No, you guys are pretty awesome. So you guys were out in Palm Springs too. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was a good trip. Well, it didn't start so good. We were both a little bit unwell, a bit ill.
We both caught a bug on the plane.
Yeah, I
Simon
saw that.
was sleeping next to an ill baby who was crying throughout and being sick, almost on his lap. So so Simon kind of caught it, I think, and he gave it to me, and then he
had it first though. So we were ill for about 3 days, and then we got into it. It was, but the jet lag hit us eventually as well. So after about 2-3 days, we were both like zombies. We were just walking dead, and we was filming the whole day. So we were in 35 degrees, plus sick, plus the jet lag. So and Alex was hitting with the guys as well. I was impressed that he could actually stand on the court. Never mind hit the balls with these guys.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I saw some of the stuff you guys put online about being hitting partners, and it was very impressive level. That's another cool thing is it looks like you guys, besides teaching, you guys like to still hit a lot, right?
Yeah, we like to challenge ourselves, just to keep the eye in. Makes us feel like we're still players, that we can still play against these guys,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I see that we have Pat. Pat did give us a comment. So we have Pat Oster out there who said, "How do I add a comment?" You did fine, Pat. And so I'm just saying we see that.
I don't see any comments. Oh, here we go. Hey guys. Oh, Top Tennis Training. Us.
So the email I sent out. Basically, it's a link. I don't know if you guys saw the email I sent out, but you can go to that link and you kind of see us live. So anyway, one thing that I really like that you guys do is I love the new, and it looks like you guys maybe made it up, is the forfeit challenge. Before we get into that, I just do want to give you guys a formal introduction now that we're into it about 8 minutes and probably got most people that we're going to get on the call. And this is Alex and Simon from Top Tennis Training. They are amazing coaches and players. They're one of my favorite people to watch. When I just want to go for tennis entertainment on YouTube, you guys are usually one of the first stops I do. I'm a big fan of tennis in general still. I mean, I teach, but it is my passion, and you guys have been very entertaining to watch. And Alex has played on the ATP Tour, and he's played most of the majors. I know you've got the Australian, Wimbledon, and I think the U.S. Open. Did I get that right?
The French. I was injured for the French, and then the year after, my ranking was just not good enough to get in. So I played the others, but French eluded me.
Okay, so didn't play. Yeah.
I'm climbing really hard now, and then watch out for the comeback in a few years.
All right, I love that. I love that. Although I think you kind of wussed out on one of Simon's challenges, so it looks like you need to raise your fitness. Yeah.
I gave it my all, I tell you. I thought I did all right.
Well, as hard as you are on Simon, I was a little disappointed that when it came your turn, you were such a wimp about it.
He's a drama queen, Alex. He's a drama queen.
He is. And
a bit ridiculous of me. I think he wanted to get my muscles to cramp up, and I had like tennis today. So.
You were on court after 20 minutes after that, right? He was on court teaching 20 minutes after doing that forfeit. So
wow, that's crazy. Well, and then Simon is no slouch himself on the court. You played a lot of like satellites and things like that.
Futures and satellites, yeah. That was 2006, 2007, and then I coached for 3 years, and I started playing again 2010, and I played about 6 months, and then.
We can't hear you. Alex, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. I mean, I hear you.
Doing okay, but the trouble is tennis wasn't doing it. So coaching, it's one of these things.
Simon,
I think you got cut off.
You may want to reconnect, Simon. I think we're losing you a little bit, but just to recap on Simon, he's an amazing player. Really, he's coached international level players too. And one of the things that they do, which I kind of want to start with this, is they do this thing called the forfeit challenge that I've noticed. And I really think it's a very good, besides it being funny to watch, I do think there's a lot you can get out of it. And I'm just going to see what they think. I mean, I've gotten a lot out of watching them. And first of all, who came up with the idea of this forfeit challenge? How did this come about? Who did this? And go ahead.
I think we both have ideas, and we kind of we speak about it, and one of us says like, let's do this, and I can't remember who came up exactly with the idea to punish.
We almost bounce off each other, He'll say, "Oh, I think we should do something like this," and I'll say something like this, and then we'll combine the ideas together, and then turns into something new, you know, and it's
Then the magic's happening. Yeah.
magic.
Good.
But-
So it's kind of like being in a rock band. You guys bounce
Yeah.
ideas off each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Very cool.
At the start, we thought we need to kind of make each other suffer. So we said we want to push each other, and we kind of want to show that even in training, you can kind of come up with ideas to keep it kind of fresh, and also bring in
It's
the
all
factor.
having fun, you know, as well.
Yeah.
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 Well,
And
I
bring
don't.
in the fact.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Peter.
You go ahead,
Yeah.
Simon.
Also bring in the factor between the winning and losing, because if you just train and you play a tiebreak and it doesn't matter who wins and loses, it kind of, in training, a lot of kids especially, they don't mind losing. But if you have a forfeit, it kind of makes the challenge, I have to win this. I want to win this one. So it makes it a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my email today, but what I got out of it, I put together kind of 3 P's about it, right? You got.
Yeah, I saw those. Yep.
Yeah, you see. So
Yeah.
you've got the pressure in there,
Yep.
which is, you know, tough. You guys are feeling that pressure.
Yeah.
And then another thing is it's fun. It's you got the passion with
Yeah.
what you're doing as well. So you know, I really like the concept behind doing it. And so was this something that you guys would kind of do as juniors as well?
I used to do similar stuff, very similar stuff. So maybe not as intense, the forfeits, but you always, yeah. Maybe not a 6-mile run at the end of a loss.
Uh-huh.
That was my personal favorite. I mean, we had to start big, and I thought, why not get Simon a little fitter, you know? So.
Well, I gotta say, he was a champ, you know, doing that 6 miles, and I can't believe you didn't even give him water.
Hey, Water was waiting for us in the hotel, and I was feeling a little thirsty, so I had to go back there and make sure I don't get dehydrated.
You're mean, Alex. You're a mean guy. You're mean.
Yeah, and so I mean that was just brutal. So for you guys who haven't seen it, what Alex and Simon did, it's kind of cool. You can check it on YouTube, and I'll try and share a little bit of it as we get a little more into this call. We'll try and share one. Is they came up with this, and so again, here's the 3 P's I have. It's pressure, purpose, because every drill had a purpose. It was you know, a very specific goal that you guys were working on, and you guys clearly showed passion. It looked fun but hard to do, and that particular exercise, you guys had to rally back and forth, chip shots until one of you hit the net and the ball went over the net, right?
Yeah. So we're looking for real precision, you know, really trying to, you know, knife close to the net, because I mean, you want to keep the ball low when you're hitting that slice, and if you can distinguish between, you know, a higher ball and a lower ball and make the ball just skim the net, then, you know, if you want to get a little higher later, you can, and, you know, it just makes you a little bit more skillful in that drill.
Yeah, so that's what I like about your challenges. You guys set the bar high for yourself, you know, that you're like, hey, let's just not do this drill. Let's do a very specific thing that's hard to do, and it's also got to keep your focus up, especially I think for most people doing it. I don't know how long it took you guys. It looked like maybe there's a little editing, but you all are so good that you usually get everything quick. I did it with one of my juniors, and he's an okay player, and to be honest, he was just missing a lot, so we couldn't get a lot of long rallies. But it took us forever, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of cool, because I was saying, you know, stay focused, because you know, the longer you do something, you're going to start to check out mentally. But if you can really focus on this specifically, and when I teach people is also on the slice, lots of times it floats up. So I'll tell them, hey, aim for the net strap, and usually they hit like an amazing slice after that. So.
Yep, it's a tough drill. It's great for anybody.
What's that?
I said we're happy to help you out with your player. Great slices. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'll send them over there. You guys can give them a couple lessons, get them in shape.
But that's the whole thing. Yeah. Sorry, Peter.
Well, I was just going to say the 6 mile run too. I don't want people to get intimidated out there, but what I think is a good idea, and you guys let me know some suggestions, is kind of take these forfeit practices into your practice and go, okay, well, I'm not, in my late 20s and 30 years old. I'm 55. I'm 60. Think of a forfeit challenge that you can do at your age that's age appropriate. That is going to cause a little bit of pain, but you can get through it. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, guys, challenge yourself to the same ones we're doing. Just make up your own. Like, come up maybe instead of a 6 mile run. On you go, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a physical challenge. It could be a mental challenge. It could be, so you have to do something.
Buy a beer for the other guy. Yeah. Could be you buy drinks for all you guys who are playing doubles. It could be anything. Me and Alex, we just wanted to push each other because it turns out to be quite funny when we watch each other being punished. But with the kids in my squads, I make them do maybe 5 laps around the court or 20 press-ups or 10 lunges, something like this. But it keeps them or they have to pick up all the balls on the court, so it gets them motivated to push in the drill.
Absolutely, and I think buying a beer and things like that is a great idea.
Yeah.
That's fun, but also I don't think there's anything that people want to do less than a physical challenge, but it will also help your game in the long run. So I do think that if you're, just because you get to a certain age doesn't mean that fitness becomes not important. I think as we get older, we need to take better care of our bodies. So I think people, 20 jumping jacks. That's something that probably someone 55 years old should be able to do. Hey, you got to do 20, 30 jumping jacks.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Very good.
Yeah. It's the main thing is the practice and put the pressure, like you said, the pressure and having the fun, and at the end, if you win, you get something. If you've lost, you have to do a punishment. so that's the key.
All right, I'm going to try and show this, guys. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to try and show your forfeit challenge so people can kind of get an idea of it. We probably won't run the whole thing, but it will be enough to people kind of get the idea of what you all are doing, and it's pretty darn good stuff. So I'm going to share the screen here. I'm going to share my entire screen and share. And let me know if you guys can see that online too. And we should.
Yeah, we can see that.
Okay, so we've got our two studs here, and I'm just going to play it, and we'll put the volume on too.
I'm definitely not hearing volume.
No, not hearing the volume. Neither. Okay, so what they're saying right here, guys, I'll just be the narrator. They're basically saying that these forfeit challenges are great for you to do, and then they're coming up with having to slice the ball until one of them hits the net and it goes over. How long did this take you guys? Was this relatively quick?
It was actually quite quick. You said we did editing, but I don't even think we did that much editing on that one. I can't remember, Simon.
Okay, I just saw the balls when they got picked up, so there was a little.
Yeah.
It took a few,
it took about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Until we got it.
No, you guys get them pretty quick.
On the next one, when Alex is hitting the serve, and we have to hit the slice serve in the box and get it over the fence.
Yeah.
That was Alex's second serve.
I saw that. And there you go. This was great. So he hit it. You're a little upset.
Yeah.
And now Alex is basically saying, here, I'm going to make you run back to the hotel. And I thought that this was pretty funny that you guys actually got in the car here. So
yeah, I wanted to drive behind him, and I was, tooting my horn and telling him to lunge down.
I had to get down and do a lunge.
Yeah, so if he did not, that's Simon there, right? If he
slowed down, I took my horn.
Yeah, he tooted his horn, then he'd have to go down and do a shadow volley. Let's see if we can see that. Actually, that'd be pretty funny. You ran at a pretty darn good pace right there. Look, he's got to go down and do the volley. Unbelievable. That is classic stuff. Then I know at one point, let's see if we can fast forward here. Look at this. Poor Simon, he's asking for a drink. And Alex is like, heck no. Keep running. And here he is again. He's like, please, sir, please give me a drink. And absolutely frickin' not. No way. Keep running.
Even then, he told me, you're going too slow. Pick it up.
Yeah. That looked like that must have been around 4 miles into it, huh, Simon?
That was a good, 30 minutes, 25 minutes in. And this was midday. We did this 2 p.m., 2:30 in the afternoon.
I was out there. It was mid-90s pretty much every day.
Hang on, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day was boiling. Yeah.
Here's probably the meanest thing is all of a sudden Alex starts driving off and goes in the hotel room and is laying on the bed waiting for Simon to come in.
Yeah. Talking as well, saying, this is great.
Yeah, he's giving a pretty good narration. You guys can check this out on Top Tennis Train as well as all their forfeit challenges. And then let's see if we can just fast forward to, here comes poor Simon in the room.
Dying at the end.
Good stuff. That's good stuff. So before I move on to the next topic, any other?
Can you believe people actually thought that was fake? They said you weren't sweating enough when you came in the hotel.
Really?
I said we filmed the whole thing. We put it in fast forward motion. You could see everything. And you still think it's fake?
Oh no, I could tell that was the real deal. So that was quite a brave thing. Now, how many of those did you guys do?
So far, we've done 4. It's 3-1 to Alex, but I've won already another one, and I need to get Alex to do a forfeit. So he has a bad one coming. I have a little trick up my sleeve that is going to be quite funny. So I'm not gonna let it slip right now, but when it comes out, I think it's gonna embarrass Alex.
I'm forward to it already. I know it. I know something bad's coming, but I just I don't want to think about it.
It's not physical, but it's something that's gonna embarrass the crap out of Alex. Let's put it this way.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna get him back on that side.
Well, how you won the one I saw is you took the racket edge. People can see this. The edge of the racket and was bouncing up.
Yes.
And you made like 140 in a row.
Yeah.
Now, how much have you practiced that to be able to do that?
When I was younger, I used to do it with my friend in his garden. We used to play. He had a big garden, and we used to play touch tennis in the back garden. And we used to also play that game to see who could do the most. And I think I got up once to about 1,000, which was a joke. So I might practice and try and do 1,000 and put it on YouTube.
Wow, that's pretty good. See, now again, that shows people something that is a skill that, first of all, to get up to that 1,000. I'm sure you had a lot of frustration, 2, 3, 4, 5s off the racket. So to keep with that shows persistence. That shows focus. That shows doing something that most people would not sit there in their spare time and just do that.
Bouncing the ball, yeah. But I love practicing. I love training. It was just, for me, it was just like a hobby, even though I was doing it with all my heart, just passion.
Yeah, that shows real passion. So, okay, well, let's move on to the next thing. I think guys get the idea of what the forfeit challenges are and what you can get out of it no matter what level you are. So, with the tactics,
yes.
What are some of you guys both played at a very high level. What do you think are some core fundamental tactics that anyone can use at any levels? Let's first talk singles and then give us some doubles.
Alex, do you want to go first or should I go first?
I think Alex is gone.
Okay, so for me, I always teach the first 4. I say 4 basic tactics. First one, always keep the ball in play. Like if you can out hit your opponent in consistency, you're going to win a lot of matches. And I think at club level, recreational players, they always think they have to hit winners. Whereas if you keep the ball in play, most of the guys you play, they're going to break down. So what I teach my kids, I always say, if you can get 6 balls in the court on every point, you can basically win a lot of points just by doing that one single tactic. Never mind anything else. Just keep the ball in play and get 6 balls, 8 balls. When you play a match, when you start a match, see the level of your opponent and see how many balls they can make in a row, and then just if they can make 6 balls in a row, your goal is to make 7 balls in a row every point. Just the first couple of games. For me, that's the most important tactic in tennis, keeping the ball in play. And people overlook it. It's just so simple, but people overlook it.
Sure. And the other thing, I think, a couple of things. Number one is people talk about, certain styles of play and like, well, it's modern tennis. You can't do that in modern tennis. First of all, I think there's a lot of fundamentals such as like stepping into a ball when you have time that the pros certainly still do. And,
of course.
And the other thing is too is as much as we'd like to think that at the club level we are playing modern tennis, we're not playing modern tennis. So you're not playing. You can serve and volley.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can serve and volley at your club because Novak Djokovic is not returning your serve.
Yeah, exactly.
And another thing too is, with the keeping the ball in play idea, and you guys certainly know more from experience than me, it looks to me like the pros hit the ball higher over the net than you think they are. They're not hitting that ball just at the net strap, and it looks like a lot of club players are trying to hit like the pros and hit the net
2
strap.
inches over the net.
Yeah, I mean, with the pros, it's it's this tempo that they keep, and it's the rally ball tempo. So they're not going for a crazy shot, crazy winner, but they're going for a tempo where they know that the opponent can't attack them. So sometimes even if the ball is landing a little bit shorter, it'll still have spin, so that it's always rising to the opponent. So it's always breaking the baseline, and the ball is rising. It's never just falling to the opponent, that they're able to step in. Yeah. And that's the kind of difference between just making a ball or rallying with your opponent. So if you're in a rally situation, you're always going to receive a ball that you can't attack. It's a neutral situation. And then the moment that you drop one that actually doesn't rise to your opponent, all of a sudden they're able to attack you, and it's no longer a rally. And then that's when they usually change the rhythm of the rally, and they step up a little bit and hit the next one. So it's and that can be relevant to any level.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I like to think of it as, I call it like the Goldilocks shot. It's not too hard, it's not too soft, it's just right. That's your rally ball. Okay, give us another winning tactic, guys. That was good stuff.
For me, I always look for a weakness. So first couple of games, you're looking to see what the player does well. Even in the warm-up, you test out, do they handle high balls, do they handle low balls, do they handle wide balls on the forehand, wide balls on the backhand. You test out the game and you find a weakness. So it's always find a weakness and exploit it.
What about
Keeping
you,
it very simple. Yeah.
What do you think about that? Alex, you there?
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't. I think my internet is has.
What I was saying, Alex, is finding a weakness and then exploiting it. So testing out your opponent in the first couple of games.
Oh yeah, that's very important, of course.
Yeah. Seeing what they do well. Yeah.
And it's matching up your strength to the opponent's weakness, protecting your strengths, and sometimes that means maybe protecting the space around the court as well. So it doesn't necessarily mean, maybe if my backhand is quite not as good as my forehand, it could mean that I need to change my positioning and actually stand a little bit more in the backhand corner and use more of my forehands, so then I don't give my opponent the chance to get to my backhand, and then I'm using my strength to then exploit his or her weakness.
Yeah.
How do you look for a weakness? How do you go about looking for a weakness? Give us some examples. If because I think it could be dangerous if you're trying to find their weakness and you're trying to do this and trying to do that, to where all of a sudden 3 games go by and you're hitting all these different shots and you yourself haven't gotten into a rhythm. You know what I mean? You could kind of try and look for too much, and then all of a sudden you realize, well, heck, I'm missing a lot because I'm trying to find this guy's weakness. How do you find weakness and still play your game?
You've got the basics, okay? So you've got, first of all, you have to know, okay, is my opponent right-handed or left-handed? And that's the first thing. So if you're playing a right-handed player, maybe it's going to change depending on what hand they use the racket. So their forehand usually is the stronger shot in most players. So I'd be kind of testing out their backhand first. I'd be giving them different balls, whether they're high balls, low balls, spin, slice, all different variations, and seeing how they handle those shots.
Yep.
And that will give me an indicator of, okay, how good that shot is. Maybe we'll go for faster balls or slower balls also, just to see how they deal with it, whether they move well to the ball, whether they stay back, are they aggressive, are they defensive. I mean, there's so many things, you're right, to look at, and the longer that the match progresses, the more you're able to find those answers.
Very cool. Anything you want to add on to that, Simon?
Yeah, I think even the warm-up, when you're warming up with your opponent, I think that's a great time to test, because you're not under the pressure of actually playing the point. The match hasn't started, so test out the high balls, give them high balls, give them low balls, give them some kind of junk balls, make them generate their own pace. Just test out everything. The warm-up is a great time for experimenting. You're still building your own tempo, and you're still building your own shots, but at the same time you're testing out what they do well, what they don't do well. Look at their serve in the warm-up, see what they do with their serve. Can they hit a good kick serve? Can they hit a good slice? Sorry, my son's just playing with me. I'm just gonna get him back to bed. 1 second.
Okay. Sure.
Another thing you can also look at is the grip that your opponent uses. So someone that uses an extreme grip will straight away, they'll be an indicator to me, okay, he's not going to like slices, he's not going to like the ball being low. Hand grip or backhand, they're better handling higher balls. If someone has a more Eastern grip, I know they're not going to be generating as much topspin. So there's a few things that you can look at even on their grip position when they're hitting, and you can make those decisions pretty quickly. It takes maybe 2 minutes for them to hit the ball.
Sure. Now, once you find, let's just say you find that their backhand, that was cute to listen to. Once you find that their backhand is weak, do you just exclusively just hammer the backhand over and over again? How do you mix it up?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that you just go there, because they'll be thinking, okay, he's on to me, kind of thing. You want to find out those little things and keep them in your keep it there. So whenever you're in trouble or you really need a point, that's the go-to shot. That's what I do. I'm not going to give him every ball low. Otherwise, players adapt. And once they adapt to their game, then you have to look for something else. So it's always the change of rhythm and change of balls. So going forehand to backhand or high to low or forward and back, that's what usually gets the opponent. It's not just going backhands, okay, just keep hitting backhands, because as you know yourself, if someone just feeds you 10 shots in a row, after a while you're going to start feeding it, you're going to start making that ball. But if I fed you the same 10 balls, one high, one low, one slice, one spin, you're still not going to get any rhythm on it, and there's still a way of exploiting that weakness.
Very good. And then are there certain tactics you guys like that are kind of point specific or a certain area in the match, whether it's the beginning of the match or middle of the set or towards the end of the set? Is there certain things that you're going to start to do more of based on your strengths and their weaknesses?
I mean, different players, they deal with different game situations differently. So some players raise their level when they're up, and someone like Federer, he's really good at closing off matches. You give him, he steps a foot in front, and all of a sudden he's gone. He starts playing better and better and better. And some guys like to play when they're behind because it takes a little bit of pressure off them, and then they relax. It's all about keeping yourself relaxed, I guess, and playing your style of play, and not really think about the score too much. But definitely, the score will affect on how you deal with things and what kind of shots you play.
Okay, Alex. So when you were playing, it's you're in Wimbledon. It's 6-5. You're serving 30 all. What are some of what are you hoping to really do as a point?
Okay, so straight away I'd be thinking, okay, what's my favorite serve? It's a deuce side because it's 30 all, so I'd probably be going for a wide serve. So I'd be trying to get my opponent out of the court. I'd be trying to exploit that space that I create off that wide serve. So I know if I get a good wide serve, the percentages suddenly go in my favor. So I would definitely try and put that serve in. I would look if they try and open up the racket, I'll even sneak in and try and volley it away. If not, then I'll continue like moving them side to side. So I'll try and go maybe into that backhand straight away and keep it onto that backhand until I get a shorter ball, and then I'll look to approach. So that would be my tactic. I think I'd play a definitely more aggressive game style, just because I've played enough matches where if I didn't play aggressive and I let them come onto me and they've won the match at the end, you sit there and those points really bug you. They really get to you, and you can't sleep. And you think about them. You think, what if I went for it? What if I would have done this? And all the players have this. And by playing your game and being a little bit more aggressive, it doesn't mean going for a crazy shot winner, because that's silly. You have to play the percentages. But you definitely wouldn't just try and out-rally them or just give them balls and say, here you go, here's a chance, do you want to take it or not? I want to kind of go out on my terms, and if I wasn't good enough to make a shot, then obviously I need to work harder and train that shot better, but I definitely wouldn't allow my opponent to impose their game on me on a big point, because that's the worst thing you can do. Sure.
Simon?
Yeah.
Alex is serving to you. It's 30-all. Let's do two things. Let's say first he's gonna make his first serve.
Yeah.
And he's up 6-5. What are you trying to do?
If I was playing Alex, I'd try and get the return back to his backhand. Hi.
Okay.
Get it to his backhand, because obviously he's got a big forehand. So I'm thinking in my head, all right, if I give it to his forehand, even if it's a good return by me, he's probably going to dictate play. If he does attack me on my backhand, let's say, if I make the return, he hits his first shot to my backhand.
So you're trying to hit a high loopy return to his backhand. Am I right?
Try to get it, or maybe a slice return to his backhand,
okay,
just so he can attack me off the first one. If he does attack me and I'm under pressure, I might use a slice and try and keep it low, which makes it harder for him to attack me. If he's still doing that well and he comes in or whatever, then I'm thinking get it in his feet, try to get the pass in his feet. I'm thinking maybe the two pass, the 1-2, once in his feet, he volleys up, and then on the next one I pass him. But if he's serving and he's serving well, it's going to be always tough. So if I'm in that situation where it's already 6-5 him and he's serving for the set, I've done something wrong on my serve. At the end of the day, I always have to take care of my own service games. And if I've lost serve, I've done something wrong in that service game, or my opponent has played an unbelievable service return game.
All right, it's 30-all. He has the second serve. Now, are you going to try and take the offense, or are you going to figure he's nervous and you want to make him play a lot of balls? What are you thinking?
I'm going to go after that second serve. I'm going to try and take it on the rise. I used to always do this. I would try and take it on the rise and take it very early, and if it's a kick serve especially, take it before it gets up at my shoulder or my head. I'm going to try and rip it to his back, and again, exploit not his weakness, but his weaker side.
There are many tactics that you can employ in all different situations, and depending on the kind of player you're playing. And we've actually got a course on this. We've got our tactics blueprint course that we have actually covers a lot of these tactics on how to deal with a guy who's got a big forehand, how do you deal with a guy with a big serve, how do you deal with someone who's coming forward, and what do you do on certain situations, and we go into that quite deeply, and to try and actually have exact set procedures that you can follow. Every time you think, okay, I'm playing this guy, he's got a big forehand, I've evaluated him, and now I know what to do, and I know how to try and play, and I know that then it might come down to shots, whether I was a good shot maker on the day, but at least it won't come down to I didn't really know what to do in that situation.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Are there any tactics you guys can give us? So those are kind of like your basic go-to core value tactics. Are there any out-of-the-box tactics that you can do to either A, win a couple cheap points, or try and throw your opponent off the rhythm? Let's say they're hot, they're just on fire, and you're trying to get their rhythm off. Is there any kind of tactics you can use other than bouncing the ball off the foot, Alex? Is there anything you guys can do, tennis specific wise?
I had a really funny match I played once in Holland, and I was playing one of a really good player from Holland. He was one of the top guys there, and I won the first set 6-love, and I was 3-love up in the set. Right, so and he was the #1 seed actually in the tournament. So for me, it was like I was killing him. I was doing whatever I want, and I actually, at 3-love, I was thinking, okay, this, just hold another few games, and it could be a love and love kind of thing, and it'd probably be like the best win of my life to actually have a player that easily. And he was top 200 in the world at the time, and he was a good player. And I remember on the change of ends. As he was walking past me, he looked at me and said, "Oh man, you're playing so well today, huh? You're playing so well. That forehand, you're just killing it." And I went on, and I started almost in my head it was like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing good, I'm playing good." But then if I missed one, and I did miss one, I almost started thinking, "Oh my God, am I still hitting it okay?" Like it almost made me think about my shots. Sometimes to think about your shots and actually take yourself. Before I was just in the process. I was just playing, and now almost I started thinking about the outcome. I started thinking about how I'm hitting the ball. All of a sudden, I started getting a little bit tighter. Shots stopped going in, and we got into a real dogfight. And eventually, I ended up losing the match in 3 sets. And he ended up winning the tournament. He went on to win the whole thing. And I was just checking the tournament afterwards, and I was thinking, oh my God, that match could have been mine easier. Could have been me lifting the trophy.
Wow.
But instead, little tricks like that, and I wouldn't say it's good sportsmanship. It's something that he did, but some guys try and find a way, and that's just something that happened to me. So anything that you can make your opponent doubt themselves, like for example, I watched the match Monfils played against Safin. Can't remember what the tournament was, and Safin was killing him in the third set, something like 5-1 or 5-2, and Monfils just resorted to literally chipping easy balls right on the service line, and the balls would just jump up, and they had absolute zero pace on them, and Safin would run in with this big forehand, and he'd hit winners, right? And he hit one winner, and Monfils would do another one, and he came up and he missed one, and then all of a sudden he missed another one, and then Monfils got into his head where that Safin actually started doubting his own forehand because he missed one easy shot, kind of thing. So that changing the rhythm of play, I think, will work well. So if you're going fast, you might want to slow it down, you might want to chip it. Just something that will make your opponent think about what's going on a little bit. You're not just going in one pace, one direction, and you're just hitting, because that's what they want. That's how they've been winning. So you have to change something. You have to change the momentum of the match, and things like that will do that.
I think you hit on a big point there. Guys, remember, especially we're all the people playing club level players. We're not on the tour, and so everybody has a positive history, winning matches, but we all have our negative history too that we don't forget. It's locked into, and Newcomb's talk about this, locked into our subconscious, and so when you're playing a match and you're down a set and a break, or even like 5-1 in this, you may feel like the match is about to be over in a little bit of time, but there's so many opponents out there, even when they're way up, that finish line to them is still far away. You think it's close, but they think it's far away, and if you can make them feel, no matter what the score is, if you can make them feel that they are still in fact far away, that you are not giving up, that you are still trying new stuff, that when they choke a little bit and you sense it, that you give a little fist pump, you'll be surprised how many matches you come back, because there is no shot clock. You got to win a certain number of points to shake hands, and you can run out of points, but you don't run out of time, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, and maybe even making play a little bit slower, taking time in between points. So it's not always just time in the point. Maybe you want to take some time in between points.
Maybe you want to
go, if you have time, go to your towel. You have, it's something that you can delay play a little bit. Something that will just give you that bit of time to change that momentum. And the momentum is such a big thing in matches. So once you've got it, you can really make up a lot of ground before your opponent actually thinks, okay, I need to change something here, because I'm gonna lose this now. And the more games you win from a position where you're behind, the tighter they're going to get, and the more they're going to start
Yeah.
doubting themselves in their game. And then so you can you can definitely play around with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simon, any more out of the box type strategies that we can use to our advantage in a match?
I think always a lot of players, they like when you're giving them pace. Like today, I was playing a doubles match. I played a singles and a doubles, and we won the first set in the doubles 6-love, and we were just steamrolling these two guys. And in the second set, we started going for more because we had won the first set. We said, you know what, we're 6-love up. Let's just go for a bit more. And we gave them more pace on our serve. We gave them more pace on our returns, and it made them play better. And before we knew it, we were 3-love down in the second set because they liked pace. So 3-love down, we said, you know what? Let's cut all the pace. Let's start chipping the returns. Give them a lot of spin on the serves. Make them generate their own pace. And we won 6-4 in about 10 minutes. It was from 3-love down to 6-4. So those small things between the change of pace, if you're winning, you go a little bit faster in between points. If you're losing, slow down. Go break down the opponent's momentum. Try some balls where, like Alex said about the match with Monfils and Safin, where you give them nothing. Make them generate all the power. So it might be a moon ball, it might be a low slice that has nothing on it. Sometimes junk balls are the best way to kind of make a player nervous. It doesn't look great from the side, but it's effective.
And something you want to think about is also not going for the lines. So don't start thinking, okay, I'm losing, so that means I have to make play, you know, make my chances of winning the point even greater by going for it. You know, I need to hit closer to the line. I need to force play. So you don't need to force play. You can continue play, maybe play smarter, and also you can bring those areas in. So you bring the court, make it smaller. Almost think about playing on an orange court. If you know what the dimensions of an orange court are, if you start thinking about, okay, I want to hit the ball within the orange court, it makes it a lot easier. You're never going to miss, you know. And if imagine playing an opponent that doesn't miss, and you can still construct points, you can still build points side to side, and drop shots and lobs, and you know, there's so many different things you can do. But if you're not missing out wide or deep, you know, you're going to become quite difficult to beat.
Yeah, that's very good. But guys, by the orange court, he's saying if you're out there and you've got like a 10 and under court, I think that is a great, and I think it's a great target, that 10 and under court. You know, I know the beginning over here in the United States there was a little bit of controversy, like, well, is it going to distract our club members to put those lines there? And I'm like, man, those are great targets to play with.
Exactly, to play inside. Yep.
Absolutely, guys. We're almost 50 minutes into. I figure what we do is. I want to know, because I'm curious myself, I'm big fans of you guys. Maybe we can end with a couple stories from the tour, but I want to know what's up next for you guys. You guys have any courses or anything coming out? What should we be looking for? What are we going to learn from you guys?
We have Master Your Serve, which is a serve course that I released last year. We're making the 2.0 version now, so that should be out in the next 2 weeks, hopefully, the first couple of videos. And we're also going to do Tennis Tactics Blueprint 2.0 in the next month or two as well. So we have 2 courses coming out before the end of May. And then in June and July, we're probably going to try and do a doubles course as well. So I have a few courses in the next few weeks that are going to be coming out. Quite a lot of content, a lot of videos, and check back for those, yeah.
Good. Yeah, guys, go out there and look at that stuff. Get that stuff. I've got stuff coming out too. But you know, the thing is when you look at this, you know, whether someone's offering a 47, a 97, a 197 course, you know, and then you compare the amount of information you get when you go through it. And then you think about the amount of information that you can really realistically get in an hour lesson, because you don't want to, you know, private lessons are a little different. You know, you don't want to be giving away, you know, 50 tips in an hour. That's too much information. But you're paying about $60 to $80 an hour for that 1 hour lesson where you probably worked on one thing, one tip, to where when you're getting these courses, you can take your time and go through it and get about, you know, 60, 80 to 100 new tips, you know, that you can watch it over and over again. I don't know how many times I've given a lesson to my students. This is why I like the online and the on-court stuff is, I mean, how many times have I talked to my students and I'll say, okay, why'd that serve go in the net? And you just told them a week before why it went into the net, and they go, I don't remember why it went into the net. Well, when you're watching video courses, you can always remember why that mistake happened, you know, to where when you're on the court, there's so much you have to remember. And so I definitely highly recommend everybody go out there and check out Top Tennis Train, because not only have they done it at a high level for themselves, they've also brought a lot of their own students to a high level. So they're really great instructors. And if you guys have any questions before we go for Top Tennis Train, I will just keep kind of refreshing my page to see if there's any new questions. If you have anything, any questions at all for Top Tennis Train, whether it's tactics, whether it's how to hit a serve, how to get more power, how to beat a certain player at your club that's driving you crazy, now's your time to ask. And I'll just keep refreshing that. But why don't you guys close us out with a story from the tour? I've seen a couple of them, and they're pretty funny. So why don't you and Alex decide who's going to tell the story and what's it going to be?
Alex has the funniest ones. Alex has the best ones. He's been on tour for 10 years, so he has a lot more than me.
Yeah, I had one actually where I nearly got abducted by a taxi driver.
Wow. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, this is a crazy one. So I arrived to a tournament in Spain with a friend of mine, and we took a taxi from the airport to the club. When we arrived in the club, the people who organize your trainings and your hotel and everything, they say, hey guys, how much did you pay for this taxi? So we're like, oh, you know, whatever, 20 euros. Look, all the taxi drivers know you guys are in town, and they're charging everything double. So it should be 10 euros. We just feel bad that you're getting ripped off. So when you go to the hotel, we'll book the hotel for you and everything. But when you go to the hotel, don't let them charge you more than 10, because it's only like 8 kilometers away. So I'm like, okay, great. So we do a practice session and everything, and we're leaving the club, and we order a taxi. So the taxi comes, and I remember the tip. I think, oh, you know, I'm gonna make sure they don't try and take our money. So I say, oh, you know, how much will it cost? And the guy's like, 20 euros. I say, hey, come on, man, I know now. They told me, so don't double charge the taxi. And he goes, okay, sorry. I give €1 per kilometer. And I remember the lady saying, okay, it's 8 kilometers, something. Okay, it's going to be even less. Dude, you know, you're going to end up being even less. So we get in the car, and we start driving. And I kind of remember the route, because you showed me on the map where the hotel is. And as we're kind of getting closer, I look at the driver, and he's starting to kind of panic a little bit, because we're getting there really quickly, and it's, you know, he hasn't got the time to make up the kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like, it's for nothing really, you know. But I can see him kind of panicking, and all of a sudden he's indicating to go left, to go somewhere completely different. I'm like, no, straight, look, hotel over there, you know, keep going. So we keep going, and we reach the hotel, and it's like 8.5 kilometers or something. So I get my 10 euros out and say, look, you know, I was right. Here you go. And I give him the 10 euros, and he looks at me and he's like, no, 20 euros. I'm like, man, we've just negotiated. You told me. He's like, no. And without saying a word, he slams on the gas and starts driving off, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so now I'm in the car, my friend's in the back seat, and we're driving off. He drives off from the hotel and onto the motorway, onto like the carriageway, and we're like looking. I look back at my friend. I'm like, dude, what's going on? The guy's driving off. He's like, tell him to stop. I'm like, stop, please. The hotel's that way. I'm like, look, I'll pay you the 20 euros. Just forget it. Just take us back. And he's just looking straight, like not like I don't exist, like I haven't said anything to him.
Wow.
Okay. I say, look, can you please stop the car? And now we're picking up speed. We're like going like 30, 40, and I'm thinking, okay, where the hell is this guy taking us? So all of a sudden he picks up the phone and starts dialing a number. Dials a number and starts speaking Spanish. And he's like, like in a really angry voice, like really, really getting angry. Puts the phone down, and I'm thinking, oh my god! So my friend's like, dude, don't let him take us to the forest. They're gonna take all.
Don't let
him take us to the forest. So I go, come on, you gotta stop the car. I start smacking the front where the passenger seat is, I start going like this. And he's not stopping. He's like, you have to stop the car. My friend's like, you got to stop the car. You got to stop the car. I'm like, what do I do? He's like, just stop him. So I reach over and I grab the steering wheel.
Whoa.
Right? Yeah. And then the guy starts fighting me in the front seat. He's like fighting me while driving the car. So we start full on fighting in the front seat while the taxi's going like this. And my friend's in the back, kind of choking him from the back like this. And the guy's trying to fight us. We're going around like this, nearly smashing other cars. People are looking at us. What the hell? I'm thinking we're going to crash. He's not going to take us to the forest because we're not going to get there because we're going to crash right here. We're going, it's going to be serious. So like in a moment of panic, I open the door. So the passenger door I open, and it swings open like this. And we're on a motorway right now. And I just start screaming out the car, "Policia! Policia!" like this, and cars are driving past, and they're looking at this scene of us fighting and screaming, and the guy panics and slams the car, like the stop, and we go flying like this forward, and I get out the car, grab all my bags as quickly as I can, and my friend gets out, and he comes up to me and goes, "You, like this, you. I'm going to get you," kind of thing. Gets in the car and just drives off. And we're like with all our bags in the middle of the motorway, cars just going past us. We're thinking, oh my God, what the hell did just happen? And then we just walked back to the hotel. But I was so scared even walking because I thought the guy's going to turn around. He's going to run us over. So we like changed sides and we had to make sure that we're on the wrong side so he can't get us and stuff. And then from that moment on, I was too scared to get taxis in that town. So I had to hitchhike and I had to like get people to give me lifts and stuff because I was so worried of getting taxis, and I thought the guy has his friends and stuff, and they're going to take me to the forest.
Wow, that is a crazy story. So did you give him a tip?
$20.
Wow, that's insane.
I think he's still looking for me somewhere out there. I think he's still looking for those 10 euros that he should have given him.
Wow. That's insane.
I'm sure never to go back. And it was like the principal. I don't even know how it came about that he like reacted like that. But I could see that it could turn into something really serious if they took us somewhere where he had people waiting for us, and you just never know the intentions of these people. So yeah, it was a crazy story.
That's pretty crazy. Go ahead.
They see tennis players. They see tennis players and they think we're all rich. You see, I used to go even in Spain. You go there and the taxi drivers, they just think you're a tennis player. They see your tennis bag. Oh, this guy has money, so let's screw him. Let's charge him double. Most of the guys playing futures are so broke, they're barely making any money. So it's complete opposite of what it actually looks like.
Right. That's pretty darn good story. While you guys were going through that story, we did have a question from Jim. He wanted to know, how could you fix the waiter serve? You know what I mean?
Waiter serve.
Yeah, when people come here and then they go. How would you fix that?
Me personally, I would. Alex, you want to go first?
Oh, you go.
I would normally, when I see kids doing this or adults, I get them serving from the trophy position. So I put them straight in that position, and I made them hold that position and then serve. So they have the top of the racket up. Sometimes if the kid has a really bad one, I actually hold the racket myself in that position, and then only when they toss the ball, I release the racket. So that's one of my tricks.
Yeah, it's a really good one, and that works.
Yeah,
but
so
a lot of the time, that waiting position, it's not always just because they're opening their wrist. Sometimes it's to do with their grip that they're coming at the ball with. So sometimes they're holding the forehand grip, and then they've got this, open racket face that they have to go, and they have to get into this position. Otherwise, they're not going to hit the ball because it's that grip that they're using. It's the start of the serve. So if at the start of the serve they're holding their racket in a close position, and then they go back, that's how it's going to be when they take it back. Whereas if they start open, and a great trick actually we discussed in one of our courses, actually we have in Instant Tennis Tips. Yeah. We have a kid starting with a racket open, and we actually place a ball on this racket, and as he takes the racket back, he has to bring the ball around the back. So yeah, the ball has to go around the back, and then from there he will launch the arm up. So that keeps that racket, the palm or the racket face open all the way to the back this way, rather than opening the other way before he hits.
Up to the sky. Yep.
That's a great tip. I love that. I'm going to use that.
Yeah. So you put it into the the little triangle into the throat of the racket where there's the tennis ball.
Yeah.
It just rests there, and then you do the swing of the serve.
Swing.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's a great tip. That's very, very good stuff. Let me see if we have any more questions. And if we don't, we're just gonna call it a day. Let's see here.
How many people did we have? Do you have like a list of people that joined?
I don't have a list. You know, one thing that's interesting is the next day we'll be able to see at least how many views we have on YouTube.
Okay.
So that will be kind of an indicator. But anyway, guys, that was a lot of fun. That was good stuff.
Good fun. Yep.
And make sure you guys check out Top Tennis Training. You can go to their YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type in Top Tennis Training. Now, your site is top-tennis-training.org, correct?
.com.
It's .com. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yep.
Very good. Well, thanks so much, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Peter. Thanks, Pete.
All right. Everybody have a great day out there.
Thank you.
Thanks.